Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, my hero. Um, wow. I am actually pretty shocked with this week's episode's, like overall conclusion, not just conclusion, but the whole run-in with Deku and whatnot is such a brilliant way to bring to the fray uh, the stupid things that villains do, as well as the stupid things that heroes have to do, right? Like for Gentle, he doesn't have to make a channel. He doesn't have to announce every little details about him that would give him away if you were in a, pointing out contest. Be like, all right, can you say these lines and repeat them on the script? And if he did it, he would be able to tell them out of those people. Deku is not a stupid kid, and his over analyzing and his memory of what people have told him has always been his strong point of his character, simply because those things will push him further compared to not knowing these things, right? And not having all of this stuff memorized or written down somewhere where if he forgets it, he's just going to go look it back up, right? So, with this week, we get to see what his training has pretty much led him up to. He shot like 4 or 5 Delaware smashes this week, so it kind of just goes to show you that the gadget works very well. If you guys do remember, he has some type of, things that he wears on his hands and his legs already to give him support. But when he went 100%, when my boy went 100%, that stuff ripped completely off. Like it didn't even exist anymore after he fully powered up and was just going off. Maybe that had to do something with the girl on his back or something. But if that was the case, you would think everything he was wearing would have got uh, the same treatment, right? If it had something just to do with her, it was more or less he put so much power into his hands and into his feet for 100% or throughout his whole body, right? It just destroyed those things, and I thought that was a really cool detail to show because now here we are, and he has brand new gloves that work much better and efficiently than the others. I mean, sure, we haven't seen him go 100% yet and show us the durability and how long they can withstand, if he can even use that anymore without destroying them one time. Uh, but yeah, this week's episode was cool. It wasn't too much, I would say, like, not too much stuff put it in a position to be like an episode of the year or the month or anything like that, but it was definitely uh, needed to be seen in a way because not only does the way Deku react in the situation of being confronted with a villain in the grand scheme of somebody that he hasn't necessarily met, he's necessarily had confronted him, but he's known enough stuff about him and he's been curious enough to remember certain things. And the one thing that truly gave him away was the reason why he brought up some kind of tea, right? Talked about some type of tea that only he was really drinking that's like really expensive and whatnot. So by default, uh, and seeing, just where he even heard of the tea before, plus the way he kind of holds his speech patterns, it was pretty obvious. But was going to be obvious to our main character? Was going to be obvious for him to catch on quick enough to really just get into a position where all of a sudden he's, actually helping himself and not just letting someone get away because he doesn't want to, seem like he's wrong or something, right? So this was pretty cool on his just intelligence, just his way of really figuring out, who's the problem or what the problem could be. And also, he's really good at just talking in a situation that he didn't really have to know everything about it. Like, let's be fair. If the guy told him that he was just gonna go there and not hurt anybody, or if he was just gonna go there and stab somebody and hurt somebody, he was gonna get the same result from Deku, regardless, right? Not only is he in a position where he has someone that he wants to see the festival, but as soon as the festival gets interrupted by some type of villainous threat, and they have, just been through, they have a track record of people getting hurt every single time this kind of pops up. And if it's not people, it's the actual heroes that they're targeting in the first place. And I don't know, I'm acting like they're not people. I'm just saying that heroes kind of are always going to get hurt because that's all they do, right? They just jump in front of everybody and everything that they think might be able to hurt the civilians. So they put it on themselves to make sure that does not happen and to see where everything's kind of going and how the gentle criminal operates. That was never in his agenda, right? Like he never actually meant to hurt anybody, but it's that type of thinking that Midoriya had to do because he's a hero, because he wants no one getting hurt because of a battle that he started because of, just some guy he bumps into. Now, it doesn't look nearly as bad when no one gets hurt, but maybe some property damage gets destroyed. But for what cause, right? To stop somebody, to attempt to stop somebody. And now he's in a position where he's attempted to stop Gentle Criminal, but actually didn't succeed as of right now. But from seeing a little bit of the previews to now guessing what could come next, I don't think that's going to be a problem for long for our boy, just because it looks like he already has started to adapt to the ability that this guy's using, because in the previews it looks like even Deku himself can kind of see him. Oh my god, I did not know Luffy was still active. uh, Deku can see it, so if he can see the elasticity that he's kind of like changing in the air. Plus, I don't think we actually saw the ability of his partner because she said let's use it, and I never got to that point of us seeing that. So there's still another aspect, like a variable that we haven't seen yet, that truly can play a big role in Deku not catching this guy at this time and him actually getting into the festival. Or maybe this is just going to be one of these times where um, when the countdown's going down, Deku just might not show up at the end of the day, because we also know how much he's willing to throw his body away. Like he's willing to go absolutely bonkers on his own self. So because of it, he ends up much hurt than he actually needs to be sometimes if he just, you know, retreated, let people know. But then there lies the problem of Deku wanting this festival to go on. Being selfish could be his absolute downfall yet again, is this child mentality. Like I've been telling you guys, them being children and them being treated like children is one of the most enabling and downside of these characters out of everything, which that's the messed up part. Is I'm happy they get to still be kids or whatever, but that's why we're in another situation where Deku wants to do something in the eyes of a kid, and he's not thinking the big picture of if this guy actually needs to get away, what will he be willing to do? Will he be willing to kidnap? Will he be willing to stab somebody? We've seen that he turns off the camera when he thinks things are going a little bit crazier, supposedly when the other girl uses her quirk. So there's always that where situations have already changed for Gentle Criminal, and he's already doing a different plan. So what happens when you get to your last leg and you can't do any more, but the things that the true villains have already been doing, the one thing that you tried not to do anymore. Well, with all that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely try to get everything out to you as soon as possible. So with all that being said, peace.